Hey everyone, I'm Nay, and here I have set 71861, the Old Town 15th anniversary. This set officially released on January 1st and retails for $269.99 in the UK. It contains 4,851 pieces and has 23 minifigures. If you enjoy these videos and want to see more, please consider liking the video and subscribing. It helps me and the channel out so much and gets us close to the 200 subscriber goal by the end of the year. But for now, let's get into the review. So we'll start off with the main gate, and this looks beautiful. The design's awesome, the colours look great, it's just amazing. On the far left side, it's built up with some rocks and a little bit of grass here, and there's even a few little fallen petals, which you'll see soon are very abundant in this set, and it just gives it a bit more life. Further up is some grey wall with some exposed brick, and then it turns to white with a mix of other bricks. Then there's this little gap in the wall which uses this gold window piece and a bit of dark red around it. Just next to that is this little cherry blossom tree which looks great. There's a few of these throughout the set and they're really nice. Then the roof area here is very similar to the old Legacy Monastery and it looks really nice and the tiling effect is great. And then we have the main archway and it looks super nice. The grate is a bit odd since it's mainly used for rocks, but still it's decent. On either side is this little sticker which looks really nice. Further on up there's these two red lanterns on some dragon heads which looks really nice too, and the little tassel just looked that bit better. The main archway is mostly red and has a really nice effect just underneath with these alternating red and tan squares. And just above that is this sand green arch, which really stands out, but looks super nice. There's two sets of these Japanese style roofs, and they look great, especially the curved corner pieces, and throughout the set they use this frog piece on them a lot, which are pretty funny, and LEGO does have a tendency of sneaking frogs, especially into larger sets. At the very top, it has this really nice gold bit with a crest of sorts in the centre. This little bit of the wall is identical to the other side, so there's not a whole bunch to stay. However, just past it is the big difference with this plum blossom tree, I believe they're called. And it's really cool how it's growing through the wall, and there's even bits of leaves and branches growing around it, as well as its roots too. It's an interesting shape, and I like how there's little gaps since the tree would destroy the area around it, so it does make sense. And there's also a bunch of fallen petals, but they're like a yellowy here since up top the trees are more orange and yellow, unlike the white and pink bonsai ones. And they do sort of clash throughout the build. Lastly, outside is the end wall with a little bit of water leaking out and this lantern on top. Turning it around and going inside, on the far right, there's not all too much to be seen. The only real things are some stones to stand on and a little candle. Then on the other side, it's the exact same, just a little lower. And next to it is this awesome poster for Zane from the Tournament Element with the Anaconda symbol there. And it says he is alive in Ninjago, which is awesome. And then we can see the rest of that tree growing with a slightly smaller leaf area inside. Then just at the bottom is some water and a little frog. Then finally is the inside of the arch. It again is the same, it just has the same stickers but a bit less detailing. There's no lanterns and there's now a white and brown pattern just under the arches. At the bottom there's this rocky area with plenty of places to put minifigures and this awesome banner up top with these two dragons looking at each other, with a tapestry design around the border and this large shuriken inside. At the back of the roof is a little hinge to open, and inside are two things. The first is the Prime Empire motherboard, which was quite important to the story and just looks super awesome. Obviously it's much bigger than in the show, but I think it looks amazing. Then there's also the Prophecy of the Green Ninja, one of the most important items in early Ninjago. And it's amazing to finally get. It was shown in season 1 and I'm so glad we finally got it, and it looks amazing. Then we have the next build, which is the smallest area of the set, but it still looks awesome. Starting off at the right, it has this lovely little waterfall, and it is only small, but it's quite nice, especially compared to the torment of doing the water for gardens. Just above that are these two little stepping stone areas with a place to stand minifigures, and they're covered in this cherry blossom petals, and there's significantly more green here, which looks really nice. Just above that is this sign with another one of those lanterns, and the sign is pointing towards the museum and the post office, and the gate we just saw. Then as for the main area, it connects by these two ladders which can be moved above a little bit, and just underneath is a little open area with some purplish petals. Flipping it around and it really looks like a cliffside, especially with those two support beams and just with how sheer the rest of the side is. It's basically just a drop. There's another peach tree which looks really nice, and underneath we can even see some leaves as well as the little frog in some water. At the very front there's a sign saying Old Town, and turning it around there's some sort of broken flooring with these like lighter coloured planks with plenty of area to stand on, and this like little lantern. Moving that, we can see a sign saying Lookout, which if you remove this cool roof, we can get a better look inside and see this telescope. On the wall is this crossbow, which I think is for them to shoot at anyone they see through the telescope. Then on the desk is this candle, which seems to have melted since they use this piece to add a bit more bulk at the bottom. And finally is this little picture showing Kai and Nia's blacksmith shop, which is a neat little addition. But that's all for the first two builds. Oh, and the best bit is they all connect. I'll show them at the end, but for now these two can pop together like so. It's super easy, though I do wish it were a little stronger for connecting. Here we have the workshop and mailroom, and it is probably one of the weakest parts on its own, but it's still one of my favourites just for what it can do. Starting off in this corner here, it's got more of those peach blossom trees, which looks great. It's got these two smaller ones inside, then a larger one on the outside. The wall here doesn't look very good, but it is meant to be covered, so I can give it a bit of a pass. The stairs are nice. It's not all too common to see ones like this, especially in Ninjago, and I quite like them. They are pretty simple, but they're neat. Underneath them, there's some stones to stand figures on, and a little poster showing Egalt, Rontu, and I think Gandalaria, which looks great. Just next to that are these windows and a door, which, as the sign up top says, it's the post office. And the damaged sign looks really nice. There's more leaves and a branch for a plum blossom tree with a little post box with the mailman's symbol on there. And inside is just a little letter, and we can actually see the tree that branches off growing around the box, which is neat. I love when they show nature growing around things. It looks really nice. Just off to the side of it is a wall with all sorts of bits on it. In the bottom left is the symbol the ninjas made in March of the Oni, with some sort of wanted poster and this other poster, which honestly I can't make out. In the top left is the Woo Crew symbol, which is neat, and the Sons of Garmadon logo that's been crossed out on there. Then there's the Sky Pirates logo, which is cool, but doesn't really make much sense lore-wise, seeing as they don't fully exist anymore. And lastly is this flaming bird symbol, which I can't really recognise from anything. Turning it around, we can see this really rocky area with tons of grass and bits of roots growing, which is nice. Then some of the wall here, it has a nice pattern with some like brown and nugget, which looks nice, and there's bits of dark tan to show like dirt and aging, which is a really nice touch. Then this area here is super nice. It sticks out off the ground and is on an angle and looks great. It's got tons of leaves with branches and flowers growing out, and even has like an air conditioner here too. The roof looks really great with like the iron bars and the curved bits on the ends. It looks really good. Even cooler, it can open up to the mailroom, and it's cool in here. There's like a little water cooler, which is good, and on the desk next to it is this little mug and a mini version of the real playing cards, which are my favourite Easter eggs in these kind of sets. They're super cool to do. On the other side is a little light shining on a quill and some letter. And by the window on the other side are these two boxes filled with letters, and on top is a little poster of Kai in Prime Empire, which looks like some sort of movie one. And moving there, there's yet another card with Knuckle on it here, which is neat. Then for this last little wall, it shows this tree growing through, which again, I love when they do this. Then there's this cracked wall with some water flowing under, and a wanted poster of Kai, Nia and Wildfire, which is from the Rock Guys at the start of Season 3. And it says wanted and has 3 little skulls underneath. Just next to it is a little mailbox which has a little gold trophy, probably for Dareth. And what's fun is you can press that in and this wall launches off, which is really fun, and you can even have this as like a secret entrance for the villains to get inside. Taking a look upstairs, there's this large open area to put minifigures on, which is nice, and on the building are some candles. This area is inspired by the first realm with some spikes by the window and the little logo there. And it has some nice little candles. There's a sign next to the window saying Faith too. Turning it around is this balcony with space for a minifigure and a little open area to look out with more of those spikes. Inside are some mechanical things for Faith to fix up, like this little engine and some parts on the table, which is nice. The roof really stands out with all the silver and grey, which has little bits missing or added on. It feels in theme with the first realm builds. And probably my favourite feature in most of the set is this little crane on the roof, which can actually move down. And looking inside the crate, there's a single cookie, which is a bit odd. Then we have the last area, and it's absolutely huge, and the area with the tree here is beautiful. On the far left is this nice little archway which uses lots of stickers, mainly showing the same symbol from the front gate. The floor has plenty of rocks with space to pose minifigures, and there's a poster on either side. The first one shows this water with the moon behind it, and the other shows Shintaro, which is neat to see. Then moving around is this little area with a door, which when you open is pretty dark, and all you can see is a spider and a cobweb on the wall, and it says "sleep, sleep" around it, which is a neat reference to what Harumi says. Then out front we have this awesome area with a little waterfall, which goes down here with a little flower, and this little rock wall with all sorts of like green growing, even on the stairs, which are super interestingly built. Then there's this large rock area with a little area to stand on, and if we remove the area at the bottom, we can see Moro's skull, which is super dark, but a great reference to see. Around the back, we can see the tree base it's built on, and all the varying sizes of like roots and branches. It's super nice and unpredictable. Then there's this rock wall, which you can move this little boulder here to reveal inside as a secret entrance, which is neat. Or for an actual look inside, the whole wall can move out, and even like a little bit up top to see in better. Inside is the Loyalist room with space to stand around, and a big poster of Beatrix and a monitor showing that dragon that's on their staff and backs. And in the very centre is this huge hologram area, I believe, which just looks pretty nice. Moving up, we can see more of them stones to stand on, as well as a little pond area, which is nice. Then my favourite build, this bonsai tree. It looks really nice, and the shaping's super well done too, and the colours all like look great and work together well. Turning it around, we can see like this little red lantern, like the front gate, and this kite, which is a reference to the one Moro had in Season 5 when he's showing off his powers, which Wu saw, which is amazing. Here's the museum, as shown by the sign there, and the front doors look amazing and like very regal. Opening the door, there is a little ladder to get upstairs, which is always nice to have a reason in build to get characters up building like these. The building next to it is mainly sand green and brown, but there's a few areas with dark tan, again for age and wear, which is always nice so that it's not like a big huge blob of one colour. The roof looks really nice and uses more of those frogs on the end of the curves. My one issue is the leaves on the roof. Yeah, it's nice and adds a bit of detailing, and even though it's not impossible, I don't feel like the leaves should have gone upwards from the tree. I like the use of the grill slopes, and the way they're able to get them flat with the wall is really cool. Spinning it around, it is pretty plain, but you can actually remove the roof and this wall to see inside. Inside are all sorts. There's this little chair, and on the desk in front of it is the scrolls for the Temple of Light, showing the ninja giving the powers to Lloyd, which is so cool to get. The floors are this cool tile effect in like dark green and white, which is nice. On the wall is the scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu, which is cool to see again, as well as this chalice and some books. One of which is the story of Jack Rabbit, which Wu reads to Lloyd when they get him from Paito in Season 1, which is really unexpected to get. On that wall I removed, it shows the moon cycle from Dave the Departed, as well as the scroll from Quanish the Elder, showing how to unlock their dragon form from Crystallized, where they jump up, kick back, whip around and spin. And finally is the Mirror of Dread from Season 11, where Lloyd saw his worst fear as being his dad. The next room up has some neat stuff too, which can be removed and we'll look at in a moment. But on the wall is the Tale of Oni and Dragon, which Mistake told to Lloyd and Jay, which looks amazing and is really show accurate. Those bits I took off were actually 2 Lego sets, the original and movie Bounty, and I love seeing these in sets, because it's funny to imagine Lego sets of Lego sets existing in Lego. Oh, and there's this newspaper from Twitchy Tim's introduction in the island, which is good. Just outside of there is this nice little gold and red balcony with a ladder to get up even higher, and a little zip wire hook, which you can use when the set's complete. And at the top of the ladder is a little sticker of the museum again. The balcony up here is pretty similar, just larger, except there's a telescope as well, which can move about a bit but is easy to knock, and a gold rice hat as some decoration. There's some candles and windows out here, as well as this large sign which says Old Town, and the wood detailing on it is really nice to see. The roof is similar to the other, except it's a lot more decked out with this bit of white and gold as well on the side, and a nice little crosshatch effect on the top. Removing that and a wall, we can see inside better with this dark red seat on the floor, which is a bit weird, and a telephone on the wall. There's also this epic photo of Wojira and the Niad fighting, which was such a cool scene to see in the show. On the other side is this filing cabinet and a little light on this desk, along with a mini fan and a newspaper. which shows the guy who found the space bugs that eat metal from season 3, which is a cool callback. Finally is the little display for the anniversary figures. It has like this crest area around the 15th printed tile, and it looks amazing, especially with the little bits on the end to extenuate it more, and the center being raised a bit for the middle figure. But not only that, the sides can come off, and you can even add the other anniversary figures to it, which is just so cool to be able to do. Next thing. For the side builds, first up is this little tea stand, and there's not a ton to it. There is a little bit at the front for a person to move it with, which is nice, and these two little wheels to move it on. At the back, there's two of these little red lights, which look nice, and there's these four little canopy type areas covering it. The roof is shaped similarly to the other roofs of the building, and inside is a little area with 2 cups and a teapot, and it's a nice little area, perfect for Sensei Wu. Then we have this little area with this awesome dark green roof, which looks great, almost like a gazebo, and the sign at the front says Chucks. That removes really easy, which is a bit annoying since there's nothing holding it down. And inside is really nice. It's held up by these 4 pillars, which has a sign saying open. Outside has this little stone to stand on, and the other side has various sizes of cut logs. Inside has some wood shavings on this like dark red floor, and 2 planks held in at the side there. Which are on the side of this table with some other smaller planks and a bit more of them shavings. On the desk there's also a mug for Chuck, as well as a little blueprint which shows the little horse carriage from the pilot with Wu riding it, and the ninja pushing, which is another awesome old reference. Then lastly is the best one, the statue of the first Spinjitzu master. It's a beautiful little shrine with loads of little rocks, leaves and some grass growing. On all 4 sides is a little candle flame with one of the 4 golden weapons, since he did create them, and it just looks amazing, especially with that awesome statue of him in the centre, and the torso print on it looks amazing. There's not much to it, but it's just such a spectacular build to get for this set. The minifigures, and first off is Wu, who comes with his staff, which thankfully is colour accurate this time. Up until this point it's been brown, so it's great to finally see it in 10. As for his figure, it looks really nice, but isn't all too different from his others. And for him, I quite like the more simple design compared to like the newer versions, which are like over-designed. Obviously he has the classic 10 rice hat and his white wavy beard, but removing them we can see underneath, and he has a real serious face with almost like a frown, and he also has a mini beard and mustache along with a few wrinkles, which makes sense given these thousands of years old. In his torso he has his symbol in red, and the lining of his robes goes down to his legs, which I'll get to in a moment. He has some string tying that down, as well as a belt on his waist, and the bottom of that robe lining, and even has toe printing. On the back he has no head print because of his hat, but he does have a large version of its symbol on the back. Next up is Garment, who's a sort of mix between his pilot and season 1 design. He has his Rise of the Snakes helmet with that little bone there, and personally one of his best face prints, the absolute maniacal smile he has there is awesome. He has a basically unchanged torso, which I believe they're his ribs on his torso, which looks epic and super dark, and then a purple belt tied around his waist. He does only have his plain legs, and in this set to represent his elemental energy, they've given him these little studs as well. Here he has them in a pink colour representing his. Turning him around we can see his back muscles as well as the rest of that belt, and this much more serious and almost angry face print, which I love. Then we have Arumi, and she's with us. Anyway, she just has a regular sword, however her hair is different from her original version. Here it's a more hard plastic, and originally it was more rubber, which is a neat little change. But apart from that, it is basically the same. Her face print's nice, it has that red paint across her face, but here she's smiling, which I believe is the first figure of her to have done that, which looks nice. Apart from that, she's pretty plain. She has some grey kimono lining, which is covered by a belt and some sort of tattered rags over her shoulder. But that's pretty much it. She has no leg printing either. What's interesting about her is her alternate face is based on her master version from Crystallized, with this awesome blue and white design with this really angry face on it. And she comes with a hood to wear with this too, so it's sort of 2 figures in one. And on her back is just more of the belt and rags. Then we have Lloyd, who we have seen before, so make sure to check out my anniversary display video to see that and a comparison with his original suit. But real quick, he comes with his usual sword in gold, which is nice. He has the original shoulder pads from season 1, which is awesome to get, and looks great on him. He has this new hood piece for Legacy, which looks great, and the gold crest on his head's a lot more emphasised. On his torso, it's great. It's basically 1-to-1 to his original suit, except the armour on either side is gold here, and it looks really nice. And underneath we can see a bit of material through this open bit in the middle. See the bottom of this kimono on his legs with his belt tied and more of these gold bits down there. Underneath his mask is his more serious look, and on the back he has a really weird looking smile. His back print has even more of that gold detailing, as well as his symbol, which looks weirdly oversized. It just looks really off. Then there's Kai, who again we have seen, except here he has his island hairpiece, which looks awesome. It's one of his better ones. My only complaint about the ninja in this is that some have these hairpieces, some have their normal ones, and some have masks. And I would have preferred them all to have stuck to one and kept it, to be honest. Anyways, he comes with the Sword of Fire, the original, which looks great. He has his normal face print with that angry look, and also the same shoulder pads as Lloyd. His torso is amazing, and a serious upgrade on his original. The dark red armor looks awesome as ever, but the gold detailing is a lot more emphasized and just looks so much better. He has some sort of belt around his waist, and we can see his kimono lining go down through the torso and the bottom of the legs, which just look really nice. The grey stands out super well, and the gold is just a really nice bit of detailing. Turning him around, and for some reason his symbol doesn't line up with his shoulder pads, which is a bit of a shame. But underneath it we can see more of that armour and detailing along with his symbol, and on the back of his head is this super huge smile print, which is nice. Next up is Nia, who's in a remake of her original pilot outfit, and it looks great. She comes with these two blades which actually originally released in her spinner, which is a neat reference. Her hair's also her original version, which is a bit of a letdown seeing how much better her newer hairpiece is than this. She has her regular newer face print with a serious look, and the biggest change on her outfit is that she has her water phoenix down the side instead of the fire one. On her waist is a dark red belt with a plus pattern on it, and she has two little gold pendants along her chest. Her legs have a robe at the bottom with some more of the phoenixes, and it looks awesome. It's pretty basic, but still has a good amount of detail. Turning her around, she has this shocked and smiling face, and the belt pattern continues. Here's Jay. And he has these two giant wings, which is such an awesome reference, since in the earlier seasons he was an inventor, and we actually saw in season 8 that he made a pair of wings just like these when he met Woe. They are pretty poseable, but there's not a huge ton of movement, but still they're super cool. And to go with them, he has this pilot helmet with goggles which can move up and down. Those can be swapped with his normal ninja mask, which looks cool, but is a shame it's gold. But the good thing is, without it, the gold's barely noticeable. He comes with the Nunchucks of Lightning, which use this chain piece from last year's Fire Knight mech. They can't be fully held in both hands properly, but it can hold more accurate to in the show in a single hand. His face print's great, with this new angry one with a big open mouth. His torso has more detail, the arm's still silver, except the printing has some little gold lightning bolts, which I think blends well with the mask. It's held on by a belt, and we can see the kimono lining going down the middle and ending just on the legs. It has some silver on there too, and a little belt with some lightning bolts and some foot printing. On the back, he has this nice smiling face, as well as a lot more of that silver armour and his symbol. Then we have Chuck the Carpenter. From what I've heard, he was one of Sensei Yang's students who wanted to be a carpenter, so it's nice that his dream came true. He comes with a little pen and a hammer, and he feels like an off-brand Kai. He has this brown spiky hair, which I know many people used until the official one came out, like I did in Tournament of Elements. And he has this smirking face with a little mark on his face there. His torso's really similar to Kai's blacksmith one too. He has this little pouch on his apron which is brown, and underneath is this dark tan shirt. Turning him around, he doesn't have another face print, but we can see the cross from the back on his apron. '" 'Next is 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 Mistake, who I believe this is her first proper minifigure, and she also released in her Oni form at the same time, and it's so great to finally get her. She was a real mysterious character early on, then in the Oni trilogy she had a really huge part, so it's awesome to finally get her. She comes with this little cup of tea, which is perfect for the lady who runs a tea shop, and she's wearing the same rice hat as Wu. Her face looks old, but she seems to have a smirk on there too. Her torso is this like grey cardigan with a really nice helix pattern on there, as well as some buttons and pockets, and we can even see she has a white shirt underneath. Her legs are just dark grey, and the only thing on the back is more of that helix pattern on her cardigan. Finally, we have Crux. This is his younger version, obviously the one on the right is the current, and the most noticeable difference is, apart from his brother, this one is old, which is because he didn't travel in time. Now these are fairly different. The old one comes with this awesome mask with the logo on it, as well as this nice shoulder cape and these two time blades. The original just has two of those studs for his power, and it makes sense. Not only is the part retired, but they still have the power when they're young. Removing their part, we can see that the young one has this hairpiece in black, which is accurate to the show, and their faces are basically the exact same. Obviously the younger one doesn't have grey eyebrows, but their expression's the same with like this super angry look. On the torsos, the young version's red with the hands of time symbol on his chest there, and I love the red, silver and copper scheme. It works really well, and all the armor plates throughout look super nice. The old version's very similar, except it's dark red and has a lot more wear on it, and even this little hourglass and little details like that are awesome, since the armor will have aged like 40 years, and it's really cool. There's some fabric as well as a bit more armor on the legs and a bit of knee armor and some footprinting too. And on the old one he has a chain for the hourglass, and again it looks worn. Turning them around, and they both have a Dr. Saunders variant. However, the old version looks really skeptical and the newer one looks a lot happier. And the new one looks a lot better too. As for the backs, they're basically the same, except the old version has more scratching, a bit more of that chain, and it looks older. The newer version looks a lot better with more detailing, and it's less thick of the lines. Figures first up is a Chronix, and they definitely look a lot more similar, these two. Obviously, just like his brother, the older one has his mask with the hands of time symbol on there, along with that green shoulder cape. He also has some time blades, however these are the forward and slow-mo ones, and the younger one has these studs to represent that. Removing those, we can see their faces are quite similar, but the younger one is a bit more neutral, where the older one has a more conniving smile. The torsos are similar with the red, silver and copper armor, except the older one has a smartphone and earbuds, which, same as this earpiece on his head, was due to being addicted to tech in Season 7. The legs are practically identical with the same fabric, just slight movement to the armor on the sides. Turning them around, the younger version has an angry expression and the older has none, and the lines on the younger one are a lot thinner and more detailed. Next up is Faith, and this is the first real version of her. Previously we got the heavy metal version of her, so it's nice to see her as Faith here. She comes with a hammer and wrench for a workshop area, and she has this really cool hairpiece which is perfect for her. Her face is pure white with one red eye and these orange markings which look cool, and she has like a slight smile. Her torso is super cool and like very similar to the Season 9 ones, with this green cloth all around and this metal going across her chest with some bone spikes sticking out, and it's even got a chain and some markings on it. Her legs are similar with some metal knee pads and this orange chain. On the back she has this angry face, and on her back is more of that cloth, metal and orange chain. Then we have the administration agent who comes with this sort of gun, and she's definitely meant to be a sort of army character since there were lots of people working in the administration in the show. She has this big afro piece with a smirk and some sunglasses. She's wearing this tan jacket with like a belt buckle at the bottom and a black jumper underneath. Her legs are just grey, and turning her around she has no other face and just some creasing, so she's pretty plain. Then we have Dr. Saunders who comes with a little pocket watch and is super accurate. Obviously he doesn't have the super long mustache, but he does have a smaller one here with those big brown glasses, and he has this grey receding hairline. His torso's neat with red kimono under a dark red overcoat, which actually goes down to his legs there, and he has a badge showing the museum symbol and a pocket watch. Turning him around, he has a Crux face, which is just the same head he had, which is uncommon to see, and on the back is a belt buckle and a large picture of a museum there. Next up is the Postman, who I believe is the second version of him, and he is pretty simple. He has a letter in his hand and the same right side as Wu. He has this smile with some glasses and a little goatee, and his torso is buttoned down the middle with the mail symbol on his chest there. On the back is a backpack for some mail, and underneath it is just his belt and some creasing. Then we've got the Loyalist, which this guy's got a blade which used to the Darksaber hilt, which is cool, and also this original hood piece in dark red. The face print is mainly white with some sharp gold teeth and some rocky gold eyebrows and these yellow eyes. The torso is mainly this black robe with this dark red fiery lining with some gold detailing. Then there's this little pendant around its neck, and the robes actually continue onto the legs. Then on the back is this smiling face and a giant dragon on the back with multiple elements on it too. Then we have the Loyalist leader. She comes with the same torso and legs as the Loyalist, so there's not much to say there. But the dragon on her back is also the one on this cool staff she has here, which is really cool. They use the newer hood, which when removed shows this crazy cool golden mask with green eyes. And on the back it reveals their identity as Dr. Leroux. It's cool to have another way to get her outside of the previous city set last year, and those green glasses and face markings are cool. Here we have Cole. He comes with one of his weaker side of Quakes with this weird piece on the end. He has his normal hair and angry expression along with the original shoulder pads, which is nice, and the chainmail on his shoulders is gold now and looks a lot more like scales. We can just about make out the kimono lining, which bottoms out just below his belt. Turning him around, his logo's a lot more centered than Kai's, and removing those we can see his smiling face along with his symbol and more of the armor. Next is Zane, who has the shurikens of ice. He has his ninja hood and the gold crest looks really nice on that white there, same with the shoulder pads. Removing them we can see his face, which is a lot nicer than his original neutral one. Same with his torso, though it's less detailed, it looks a lot nicer with those leather belts at the bottom, that grey shirt underneath, and the tan lining which also goes down to his legs. Turning him around is the best bit. He has his battle damaged face from with the Devourer, and it just looks amazing, not to mention the detail in the robo part. And on his back is his logo and more of that letter. Then we have his dad, Dr. Julian, who's finally in minifigure form. It's been such a long wait and we finally got him. And he looks spectacular. He comes with this little gold part, which I think is meant to be some sort of wrench. And this, which is the only letdown for me, the parrot. I think it would have been nice to get the actual falcon, but unfortunately the old part was discontinued. He has this white hair and loads of wrinkles, since he's lived way past when he should have, but he does still look super happy. He has a blue shirt with this coat over with some pens in his pockets. Unfortunately no leg printing, and the back only has the lining of his jacket, but he does have a scared face too, which is cool to get. Finally for the best three. First up is Young Wu, and gosh, these just look spectacular. The three go on the base I've shown before and they look awesome. Wu here comes with a dark tan staff and this yellow stud for his elemental power. He has this dark tan hair which is perfect and this face with a little smile on it. His robes are mostly black with some dark tan lining, but a white shirt and arms. The lining actually ties off as the belt, which looks nice, and it has this gold writing, which I believe is actually kanji, which looks so nice. On the back is this angry and shouting face, and an awesome gold dragon design on his back. Then we have Garmadon, which is my personal favourite. He has the same power and staff as Wu, though this time it's pink there. He has the same hair as his old version, but it's dark brown hair since he's younger. And he has this smile which seems like a bit angry still behind it. His robes are the exact same, though this time his sleeves are black and the lining and belt are purple. Oh, and his kanji are red, which looks super cool. On his back is a red dragon and he has this super angry face with like red eyes, which is so cool to see. Finally, for this set, and probably the whole wave's #1 figure, it's the first Spinjitzu Master. This is without a doubt the most insane figure they've announced. Not only is he the most mysterious character in the show, and his design looks awesome, but this is the first time ever that we've seen his face in the whole 15 years the show's been running. Not once have they ever shown it before it. But he comes with this cool staff with a dragon head on the end, and he has the same hat as Wu, but underneath is this awesome face with like a super calm smile which just perfectly fits him. His robes have this gold and grey lining which goes down the middle and is tied down, and that bottoms off under his gold belt. His torso has this grey dragon on either side, which just looks incredible. Turning him around, he has his ponytail on the back, and his back shows that dragon in gold and some kanji next to it. Here it is all put together, and it just looks amazing. I mean, it's absolutely huge too, but I mean, it just looks great. The joints holding it together are weaker than I would have hoped, but for display it still looks amazing, and the way it all blends together looks cool. There is one last thing with it like this though. There's this clip on the huge tower which you can attach this to here. And then one on the lookout, and you can make a line, and on the side of the tower is a zip line to grab and have a person go on, which is just super fun and really cool. The one downside really is that there's nowhere to put it when it's not fully connected, but it's not really much of an issue. It can also be fully laid out, which looks amazing too, and it's really nice and super long, and just another fun way to display it really. Overall, it looks awesome. Obviously they aren't as great separate, but they're still good. But when they're all together, it's easily one of the best Ninjago sets ever. I mean, the fact it's not focused on one character like some of the smaller stuff is great. And all the different areas like the workshop, the loyalist room, the museum, the mail room, it mixes all the different parts of Ninjago really well, and it's a perfect set for an anniversary. Not to mention, whether playing or displaying it, it's amazing for both. It looks amazing in both forms and has tons of amazing play features which are just so fun to do. As for the minifigures, it's easily the best lineup, possibly ever. Having all these characters we've wanted for years is amazing, and it's another way for the ninjas' suits, which would have been nice if they were more concise with each other, but especially Jay's Wagon suits is just a great addition. And of course, the 3 legacy figures are perfect. Wu and Garmadon look amazing, and fans have wanted these for 10 years, so it's great to finally get them. And the first Spinjitzu Master is easily the most insane reveal for a figure. It was so unexpected, especially with him having not been seen fully in the show yet. It's just amazing to have finally seen him here. Honestly, I'd 100% recommend getting it, whether you're getting it for the nostalgia, the amazing figures, completing the collection, or if you just want an amazing build. It's really worth it. It's one of the best sets I own, and not to mention, the price is stellar. Take the new UCS Death Star, it's a bit under 4 times the price, but hasn't even got double the parts, which is just insane. But those are my thoughts. What do you think? Will you be getting it? Make sure to let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe. It helps get us closer to the 200 subscriber goal, and I appreciate it so much. That's all for now. See you in the next one. Bye!